A very good afternoon to you. This is your lunchtime primetime news bulletin on News First. As usual, let's take a look at the headlines. Former chairman of the Security Exchange Commission, Lanka arrested. 3 Dora vessels of the Sri Lanka Navy dispatched in search of the reported bodies drifting in the seas off Trincomalee. Minister of Health says that 20 school students are diagnosed with HIV/AIDS. On to those stories in detail now. Former chairman of the Securities and Exchange Commission, Lanka was arrested over a financial fraud worth ₹5 million, which is said to have taken place at the Commission. Police media spokesperson ASP Ruwan Gunasekara stated that the former SEC chairman was arrested after he arrived at the Financial Crimes Investigation Division this morning to provide a statement. A Deputy Director General at the SEC and another individual are already under remand custody over the alleged irregularities at the Securities and Exchange Commission. The Sri Lanka Navy says that it deployed 2 Dora vessels once again this morning to locate the bodies which were reported to be floating in the seas off Trincomalee. Navy media spokesperson Captain Akram Alawi said that steps have been taken to deploy another vessel for the operation. Navy media spokesperson Captain Akram Alawi said that based on reported sightings of 6 bodies floating in the seas off Trincomalee, 2 Dora vessels were deployed around 5 last evening. However, these vessels have not been able to locate the bodies. Since the seas became rough, the 2 vessels had returned to Trincomalee around 12 midnight. The Navy spokesperson added that steps were taken to continue the search operation this morning. The Navy has informed the fishing community to inform the authorities if they possess any information on the matter. The Women's Empowerment Program launched by Newsfirst to promote awareness on gender equality, safeguarding and empowering women commenced in the central and eastern provinces.
The program, which is being held under the theme Empower the Woman, is being conducted together with the Sri Lanka Police, the Ministry of Local Government and Provincial Councils, and in collaboration with district and divisional secretariats. The event, which commenced at the Norelia bus stop at 9 this morning, saw the participation of the police, women's organizations and a large number of women residing in the area. Wristbands were distributed as part of the awareness campaign, where women were given the opportunity to raise the issues at hand. Another leg of the Women's Empowerment Program commenced from the Trincomalee Divisional Secretariat at 9 this morning. A door-to-door awareness campaign will be launched this afternoon with the aim of listening to the grievances and gathering recommendations.
Addressing an event held in Kaduwela yesterday, leader of the JVP, Anukumara Disanayake, expressed views on the 2016 budget. We will have details of this story coming up next. But here's a look at our neighbouring country, India. Mounds of garbage were seen on streets as water levels receded in some areas of India's flood-hit Chennai city last evening, making life difficult for some residents.
About 280 people have died across Tamil Nadu state since it was hit by torrential rains on December 1st that left large sections of capital Chennai under up to 8 feet of water and trapped people on rooftops with no communication. Residents feared an epidemic outbreak and urged state government to clean roads and public places. Although the rains had stopped and Chennai's airport had partially reopened, more than half of the city was still flooded and some residents trapped on rooftops, too scared to walk through the water. India had deployed hundreds of extra soldiers and relief workers to Chennai as residents said the government has been too slow to respond to the havoc wrought by heaviest rains in a century. 10 columns of the army, about 1,000 soldiers in all, have been flown into the city to add to the 9 columns already on the ground.
Well, as promised, addressing an event held in Kaduwela yesterday, leader of the JVP, Anukumara Disanayake, expressed the following views on the 2016 budget.
Definitely a part of the economy should be in the hands of the government. What will happen if not? Because if the economic handle falls into the hands of the businessmen, then all decisions of politics and the economy in the country will be taken by the business community. They say that they are giving out 50 licenses to import gold. So only these license holders will be able to import gold. What will the other individuals who are involved in the industry have to do? They will have to buy the gold from these 50 importers. Who are these 50 individuals? You cannot go fishing in the deep seas without a license anymore. But who are issued these licenses? Not those who venture into the seas. What are they trying to do? This is a plan to hand the economic sectors which was left in the hands of the small and medium-scale businessmen over to their colleagues and small-scale racketeers. So this budget shows that this is an extension of the journey on the previous road and nothing else.
A public meeting organised by the JVP was held in Ranna, Hambantota yesterday.
There is nothing for us to touch on this anymore. They cannot build a country. They do not have the urge. The thieves need to be nabbed. Otherwise, these large-scale fraudsters will roam free. So if a single thief has not been caught and not been produced in court, where are these thieves now? The thief who was brought to court is now in the cabinet. So how can they be brought to court again? Because these are the thieves who call the shots. Capitalist governments do not nab thieves. So therefore, we tell the people, if you need the thieves to be nabbed, elect a government which can. The thieves need to be nabbed and the money needs to be reclaimed.
Speaking in Parliament today, Minister of Health Dr. Rajitha Senaratne says that 191 individuals have been identified to have been diagnosed with HIV/AIDS within the lapse of over 10 months this year. The Minister made this statement in response to a question raised by MP Dallas Alha Peruma in Parliament today.
In the year 2010, there were 121 patients diagnosed for HIV, while in 2011, 144, in 2012, 182, in 2013, 196, in 2014, 288, and in 2015, until October 30th, 191 patients were diagnosed for HIV. Out of a total of 2,265 patients which were diagnosed, 1,425 were identified to be men and 840 were women. How many do you think were students among the ones diagnosed? 20. The ones who were below the ages of 15 were identified to have contracted the disease through birth, and the ones who were above the age of 15 were those who contracted the disease through physical contact. Has the ministry through its research found any individuals who are yet to be diagnosed with HIV/AIDS? We cannot say for certain because some go unreported. So what you are saying is true. Also, there are some who are completely unaware and there are some who are afraid to subject themselves for a medical checkup because of the fear of being diagnosed with HIV and other social issues. Therefore, I issued an order that all schools subject students in the advanced level stream to an ordinary blood test. This will also be carried out for free on university students, youth associations and sports clubs. This program will be made mandatory for students who want to enroll to universities.
Still on local news, a hearing of the case pertaining to the rape and murder of Seya Sadewmi has been concluded at the Minuwangoda Magistrate Court. The defendant Saman Jailath was produced to court by the Negombo prison officials today. Since the suspect has a pending case at the Negombo Magistrate Court, the court ordered that the suspect be produced to the Negombo Magistrate Court in this regard. Well, with that, we conclude lunchtime news for the day. You can keep track of all these stories and more on www.newsfirst.lk. I'm Chaturanga Puarachi. Have a great day.